I spent 53 years working as a physician, and during that time I watched nearly 4,000 people take their final breath. I signed the papers that confirmed their deaths. I sat beside their hospital beds during their last hours. I spoke to their families when the moment finally came. And after all those years, there is one truth I cannot do. Many of those people did not need to die when they did. Not because of bad genetics, not because fate was cruel, but because of the choices they repeated every day. Patterns I first started noticing in 1972. Habits I warned people about again and again for decades. Most of them brushed it off. Now, most of them are gone. I am 102 years old. I am not telling you this story so you feel sorry for me, and I am not saying it to impress you. I am telling you because I have spent more time around dying people than almost anyone still alive. And after watching thousands of lives end, I know exactly what separates the people who reached 90 from those who collapse at 68. The strange part is that many of the dangerous habits are things people are doing right now, today, maybe even this morning, without realizing they are quietly shortening their lives. The first lesson medicine taught me is simple. Too much sitting will destroy your health faster than most people imagine. That is not dramatic language. I watched it unfold over decades, patient by patient. Back in 1981, I began keeping separate notes about my patients' lifestyles. Some had desk jobs and spent most of the day seated. Others moved around constantly. Accountants, secretaries, executives. Something about them looked different as the years passed. The lab results were different. Their circulation was worse. Their hearts failed earlier. By 1990, the pattern was obvious. People who spent 8 or 9 hours a day sitting were aging internally about 40% faster than people who stayed active throughout the day. Research papers confirmed it years later, but I had already seen it in the bodies of my patients. Here is what happens inside your body. You sit still. Your circulation slows down. Blood begins to collect in your legs. Your lymphatic system, which relies on movement to work properly, slows almost to a halt. Waste products start to accumulate. Your muscles begin weakening surprisingly quickly when they are not used. After the age of 60, this process accelerates dramatically because the body no longer recovers the way it did in youth. I once had a patient who was a retired judge. Every morning he exercised for 45 minutes without fail. He believed that routine protected him. But after that workout, he would spend 10 or 11 hours sitting, reading, watching television, barely moving. He died at 71 from a stroke. His morning exercise could not undo the damage caused by the rest of his day. The solution is not complicated. Move regularly. Stand up every hour. Walk to another room. Stretch your legs. Do anything that requires movement. I started doing this myself in 1974. I set a timer. Every 50 minutes, I stand up and move. I am 102 years old, and I still follow that rule. The second major pattern I noticed involved sleep. Not just how much sleep people get, but the quality of it. Over the years, countless patients proudly told me they only needed 5 or 6 hours of sleep. They said it as if it proved they were strong. In reality, it proved they were mistaken. Your brain requires around 7 to 9 hours of sleep to complete its nightly repair cycles. During deep sleep, a system in the brain clears away metabolic waste, including proteins linked to cognitive decline. When sleep is consistently cut short, those toxic byproducts accumulate night after night. I observed patients with poor sleep habits and develop memory problems almost 10 years earlier than patients who slept well. The connection was so consistent that I could often predict future decline simply by asking someone about their sleep patterns in their 60s. There is another detail researchers are only beginning to emphasize. Interrupted sleep can be worse than short sleep. If someone wakes 4 or 5 times during the night, even briefly, the brain never reaches the deeper stages where repair occurs. Many patients had no idea they were waking repeatedly. Their spouses knew. They did not. If you spend 8 hours in bed but still wake up exhausted, something is wrong. The third factor that shortens lives after 60 is loneliness. It may sound harmless, but it is anything but. Isolation triggers a constant stress response in the body. Cortisol levels remain elevated. The immune system weakens. Inflammation rises. I saw patients who were physically healthy but lived alone without meaningful social connection. They declined faster than patients battling serious diseases who had strong relationships around them. The evidence is overwhelming now, but I saw the pattern long before the studies appeared. Human beings were never designed to live in isolation. After 60, the danger grows because spouses pass away and social circles shrink. You must actively resist that isolation. Join a group, call a friend, visit family. Do not let weeks pass without real conversation. The fourth pattern involves diet, and this one frustrates me because my own profession gave the wrong advice for decades. We told people to eat low-fat foods. We encouraged large portions of grains. We said orange juice was healthy. As a result, an entire generation of older adults began their mornings with toast, cereal, and jam, while wondering why their blood sugar kept rising. After 60, metabolism changes. Insulin sensitivity declines. The body handles carbohydrates less efficiently. Foods that caused no problem at 40 can trigger inflammation at 70. When I turned 65, I changed my own diet after seeing these patterns. I removed most processed carbohydrates. I increased healthy fats. I focused on vegetables and quality protein. Within 3 months, my inflammatory markers improved dramatically. I recommended the same adjustments to my patients who were willing to listen. Most of them preferred to follow the old guidelines. Many of them are no longer alive. The fifth pattern is constant worry. This one often hides behind personality. Some people believe being anxious is simply part of who they are. But ongoing low-level stress keeps hormones elevated in ways that slowly damage the body. I saw patients who were retired, financially secure, surrounded by family, and still spent hours worrying about things they could not control. Their sleep deteriorated, their immune systems weakened, their aging accelerated. Learning to release what you cannot control is not just emotional advice, it is biological survival. I want to tell you about my wife. She passed away 8 years ago. We were married for 61 years. She ignored nearly every piece of advice I have mentioned. Her knees hurt, so she spent most of her time sitting. She slept poorly and refused to investigate why. Her diet stayed the same way she had eaten since childhood: bread, sweets, and low-fat everything. And she worried constantly about our children and grandchildren. She lived to 94. Many people would call that a long life, but I watched her decline for 15 years before she died. I saw her lose mobility. I saw her lose mental sharpness. I saw her lose independence. Those years were not truly living. They were a slow fading. With different choices, she might have enjoyed another decade of vibrant life, but she chose not to change. Today I am 102 years old. I live by myself. I cook my own meals. I take a walk every day. I read books. I call my grandchildren regularly. I sleep 7.5 hours each night. I am not extraordinary. I am not especially lucky. I simply made different choices. Right now, at this very moment, you are making choices too. After watching thousands of people die, I can tell you that those choices matter far more than most people want to believe. The sitting, the sleep, the loneliness, the diet, the constant worrying. Fix just one of them and the others become easier to change. I have buried 2 of my 3 children. I buried my wife. And over the years I buried 4,000 patients. Yet I am still here. And after witnessing all of that loss, I can tell you something with certainty. Most of the people I buried did not need to leave this world when they did. You are still alive. The question is simple. What will you choose to do with that?